Why hello there. I'd like to talk to you about an upcoming film. It is called Superman, and the teaser trailer has just dropped. And I gotta say, I am a fan of Superman. As a matter of fact, I am a super fan of the character. Some might say it goes even deeper than that. Some might say I am Superman. Okay, I gotta untie this. This is actually super tight. It's actually choking me. Hold on, give me a second. You know, it's funny. I've had a Superman shirt for like 10 years, the same shirt. And naturally, the one time I actually really need the shirt for a review or something, I can't find it. So I had to make this one. I drew this one by hand, and I colored it in and everything. So, you know, I had to make do. So the teaser trailer for James Gunn's Superman has just dropped, and I gotta say, I'm excited for it, right? This is probably the most excited I've ever been for a movie in general. I am a big Superman fan. He's my favorite superhero. Look, I know you guys can have Batman. Batman is DC's golden boy, right? DC has Batman. Marvel has Spider-Man. You guys can have them, right? Don't get me wrong. I love Batman and Spider-Man, but I gotta say, I've always had a soft spot for Superman. I don't know if it's the simplicity or just the hopefulness of the character. I love Superman, and you know, I'm not afraid to admit that Man of Steel, it wasn't my cup of tea, and I feel like that's the same for a lot of other people who like the character. Now, this video has nothing to do with Man of Steel, but I did recently rewatch it, and I gotta say, it's okay. Yeah, at best, it's all right, you know, but I gotta say, for like a character piece, an origin story for Superman is kind of piss poor. And look, I'm not trying to get on like a deep dive on why I just kind of dislike Man of Steel. I think it's a very pretty movie. It has a lot of really good like sequences, but man, oh man, I don't like it as a superhero or a Superman movie. It's bad, man. It's bad. Okay, look, I'm getting off topic. This isn't about Man of Steel. But I feel like, you know, we go from one Superman to another Superman. You have to kind of make some comparisons, and I wanted to go through this trailer with you guys to just show you what I really like about this trailer. And since this teaser just came out, I don't know if I can actually use like the actual footage or whatnot, but just to play it safe, I'm gonna just show you stills of the teaser. That's gonna get the point across anyways. So we start with this like actually beautiful image of what I imagine is the Arctic, right? And it's just real pretty, and then all of a sudden it gets littered with a little bit of Superman dust here and there. And I will say, a very, very bold move to have the first footage we ever see of this Superman hitting the Yamcha pose. That takes balls. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's kind of crazy. I also just want to say that this is kind of a weird way to show Superman for the first time, because like, obviously, like, if you just think about it for a second, this is probably halfway through the movie, maybe even like towards the later end of the movie. He probably maybe finally found someone his match, or, you know, since Lex Luthor is in this movie, I imagine he probably got shot with some kind of kryptonite. That's literally all Lex Luthor ever does. He has like an entire arsenal of kryptonite. It's kind of jarring to see that the first time we ever see the Superman, he's spitting up blood in the Arctic. That's kind of crazy, right? I mean, that's kind of absurd, but not in a bad way. I don't want to say that, but it's intriguing, you know? Like, this is a vulnerable Superman. Generally, you know, we look at Man of Steel. Man of Steel was an unstoppable force that was annihilating cities, helping to annihilate cities. I don't want the Zack Snyder people to come after me, but you know, it's just a different direction, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And then here we get our first look at Clark Kent. Now, obviously, this guy kind of blends in better with the background. He's not such a prominent figure, but man, yeah, he's, you know, he pulls it off pretty well. You know, I think for Clark Kent, this is about as good as you're gonna get with the live action appearance, right? And here we have our first look at the Daily Planet. Now, look, I don't really know how like a modern newspaper works, but like newspapers are like declining, right? You know, they're, you know, maybe they are like this nowadays, but like, man, I gotta say, like, they must run like a blog, or, you know, like a news website or something like that. Like, I don't even think the New York Times would look this busy, but, you know, maybe they are. I don't know, but yeah, it is nice because they have the giant globe from the comics, which is pretty cool. They have the Daily Planet sphere and everything like that. I like it. It's cool. And here we have our first look at Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I like it. I like it. I will say, though, this is a small part of me hoping for this, but I did really, really like the Lois Lane in My Adventures with Superman. I knew that wasn't going to happen whenever casting came around, but, you know, you can't help but blame a guy for wanting that. I mean, I like that Lois Lane a lot better than any other reiteration of this, of Superman. So, I mean, what can you do? But I'm sure she's going to do a great job. I have no doubt. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this. This is not just some random, like, farm boy from the South or from the Midwest, you know? This guy, if you were to see this guy, like, randomly on the street, you'd be like, yeah, that guy's a model probably of some kind. He's way too pretty, you know? He can't just blend in the background. This guy's a main character. This is gonna hurt me. This is gonna hurt me a lot. You know, Mom and Pa Kent, like, never really die. I mean, they do, like, quite a bit, I guess, but, like, in a majority of the comics, I feel like they're just chilling, you know, on their farm with the strongest person that has ever existed as their son, you know? If that's Pa Kent, man, I don't know why. He just seems like, you know, normally, like, with a lot of the other reiterations, he looks fine, you know? I have no problems with any Pa Kent, really, but, like, well, Kevin Costner, you know, from Man of Steel, I mean, hey, remember how you saved that bus full of children? Maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe you should have let them drown, you know? No, dude. No, Pa Kent does not say that. Okay, sorry, I'm getting caught up with Man of Steel logic again. I like the way that this Pa Kent looks because it looks like a standard Midwestern dad. You know, as a guy who lives in the Midwest, I see 1,500 of these guys every day. I guess it's just a touch of realism that this isn't like some big Hollywood actor, I guess, and it's just kind of nice just to see it just a normal looking dude, and I really wish the best for him because I really don't want to see him die in this movie. So Superman's spitting out blood out in the Arctic, you know, getting all the nice white snow all nice and bloody, and he starts to whistle, and I was sitting there thinking, like, whistle, what's he whistling for? Okay, I mean, there's something running in the distance. What the fuck is— oh my god, it's Crypto the dog. This might be a deep cut because, like, I never see anyone talk about this, but do you guys remember Crypto the super dog? I remember watching this whenever I was younger, and I never hear anyone talking about this ever. And I used to love this show. I can't believe it was only 39 episodes. That's crazy. Crypto the super dog. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for Crypto. So Crypto's here to rescue our boy. He grabs his cape and he tells him to go home. And here it is, baby. Here it is, the thing I love about Superman. He saves people. Oh my god, again. I'm not trying to get into it with Man of Steel. I'm really not, but oh my god. Look, okay, I'm gonna go on a little rant here. I'm just a small one, just a little itty bitty one. Superman would do every single thing in his power to stop one person from dying. He would literally kill himself. He would literally try to kill himself to stop one person from dying. Letting an entire city go apocalyptic, he wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow it. Even an unexperienced— okay, sorry. This isn't about Man of Steel. I love it when Superman saves people. It's very nice. I like it. That's what he's meant to do. We got our first look at Lex Luthor, which I find this funny because he does look a lot like Agent 47. Everyone has said that so far. He looks like Agent 47. But it's also going to be hard for me to get past that this guy played Beast in the MC, well, the Fox universe, Fox X-Men universe. But I have no doubt he's going to do a good job. I know this guy's a very talented actor. He looks the part. He looks the part really well. And I got to say, if I had money on it, the way he's looking at that gun, there's probably kryptonite bullets in that gun. Just throwing it out there. I know that's not a new theory, but I guarantee you he's got some kryptonite on him right now. Now, if you can look past that lens flare somehow, you can see that he's breaking out of a cage of some kind. And I'm very, very curious on how they even got caged in the first place. So, you know, that's going to be interesting. And then we cut to this little boy, presumably in a civil war of some kind. And he brings up this flag of Superman's logo, and he's just hoping for anything. And I'm very curious to see how they're going to handle this, because in the next scene from this trailer, you see Superman get absolutely berated by the public. I will say it is nice to see Superman turn his back instead of just annihilating anyone. And yeah, look, I'm still being a dick to Man of Steel, but I know he doesn't actively go out and kill people, but he kind of did a little bit. You know, he kind of did a little bit. He contributed to a lot of death, so I'm still going to poke holes at it. Okay, I'm done talking about Man of Steel. I find this so funny, man. Look, I love Nathan Fillion, right? I love Nathan Fillion. He is a great actor. I loved him in
Castle.
You know, he's done a lot of he actually, if you don't know, he's the voice for Hal Jordan and a lot of animated stuff. But man, that is so funny seeing him as Guy Gardner. And why it's so funny how they bring Guy Gardner out of everyone. And I know they're obviously introducing a lot more later on, but Guy Gardner is such a funny person for him to play, and he's got the comic accurate haircut, which is just so funny. Now, and then we also get a look at Hawk Girl, which I'm not a huge Hawk Girl fan personally. Even in the Justice League TV show, I thought she was kind of annoying, extremely hot but annoying. But you know, she looked okay. You know, we get a look at this fucking kaiju thing. I don't know what the hell this is. I'll be honest with you. I'm racking my head around like what is like what this thing is, what it could be. I don't know. Like I was going through my head thinking of like what Superman here? What Superman villain is this? And I was fucking lost. I don't know if that's supposed to be Metamorpho, like, because I know he's in this movie or what, but Jesus. This is the scene that we saw from a teaser picture a couple months ago with that, like, I don't even know what the fuck that could possibly be in the back. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was thinking maybe Solaris, because that's a Superman villain, but, like, no, right? I mean, there's no way that there's, like, Solaris in the, you know, in the first villain of this new DCU is gonna be Solaris. There's no way. There's no way. I don't know what the hell that is, but I am kind of hesitant on like why obviously there's people dying in the background. Why is Superman just kind of like chilling there? He should be trying everything in his power. You know, I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to draw any conclusions just yet. And I'm not gonna lie, this made me laugh too. I know this is just kind of a funny, like a goofy little image right here because he's so heart-wrenchingly distraught about this robot, and I'm sure this robot has a fantastic personality. You know, I'm sure it gives all the Star Wars drones and the whole series that run for their money, but like, I don't know, just seeing him so dramatic about this, grabbing his hand and everything. And here's Metamorpho, and I'll be honest, I don't know too much about him. I've only ever read like maybe 3 or 4 comics involving Metamorpho. He looks very, very weird. This guy's a perfect mix between Snoke from The Last Jedi and the Ice King from Game of Thrones. It's literally like if they did like a fusion dance, a Dragon Ball fusion dance. This is exactly what he'd turn out to be. Now here we see Superman kind of in a tussle with someone big as fuck. Like I don't know who that is. I don't know who he's going against, but I saw some like TikTok comments and stuff say that it's probably Ultraman or something along those lines. You know, a clone. Apparently it's like a clone of Superman who's also super fucking strong and everything like that. So, you know, I wonder if he's going to be like maybe villain number 2. My kind of biggest concern right now is that there might be like too many villains, too many characters in general for like a standalone movie. Yeah, you know, we're already bogged down with Superman, right? Superman, all of the Superman characters. But then we also got Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Lex Luthor. Apparently this might be Ultraman. I don't know. That's a lot of characters, you know. That's quite a bit. And my biggest concern right now is that this movie just might be too bogged down by like, I don't want to say cameos because I don't like to throw that out there, but I was really, really hoping that this was just going to be a solo movie. You know, I thought it was going to be a movie with only Superman in it, and then maybe at the very end, just like Iron Man 1, right? Just like Iron Man 1, it only had Iron Man throughout the whole thing, Iron Man and his villain, and then at the very, very end, we were introduced to S.H.I.E.L.D., right? And they hinted at more. This isn't taking that. This isn't going that direction. There's a lot of characters in this one, and I hope that there's no, like, I'm not saying that it's obviously going to fail because of that. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot going on, and I was hoping that maybe they would just stick with just Superman for this one, but you know, if you gotta throw in some other ones in there, I guess we'll see. Mr. Terrific's here. I don't know too much about Mr. Terrific, but he is a pretty cool character. He is in a couple of episodes of Justice League Unlimited, and he was in that like Injustice TV show, or that Injustice animated movie a couple years ago that wasn't that great. It was actually pretty bad, but I'm glad to see that he's coming around because I do think he's a pretty cool character, and apparently he's like the second smartest person in the whole verse, which is pretty cool. And I'm not gonna lie, this shot's crazy. This shot's crazy. Him just launching himself up into the sky, up into the clouds, up into the sun. This was the shot that I was like, damn, I gotta go see this in IMAX. I have to, man, because if they have like good flying scenes. Now, I'll say one thing about Man of Steel. Man of Steel had a great flying scene. Like, it actually made me feel like I was fucking levitating. It was so good. And that, you know, that's a good compliment to, you know, to Zack Snyder. But like, if they can do that same thing with this one, when I'm actually old enough to understand that, hey, I really like Superman, and I'd like to experience the flyingness with him. I need to go see this in IMAX, man. I gotta go see this in IMAX. This is gonna be so good. And then finally we end the teaser with Lois and Clark holding hands, and then they go in for a brotherly hug. Love to see it. And that's the end of the teaser. It's crazy to think that this is just a teaser. This isn't a trailer. This isn't like a full, you know, dead-on trailer. We know next to nothing about like the actual plot. You know, we can like, you know, obviously infer and take a good guess at what's gonna happen, but like, we don't know like any of the story beats at all. Like, I have nothing but faith in James Gunn. If you look at James Gunn's filmography, like just with superhero movies, he made the great Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, probably the best trilogy of movies in the MCU. They're so consistently good. Like 1, 2, and 3, all 3 volumes are just great movies. And then like my favorite movie of the DCEU was The Suicide Squad. Just a great movie, just funny, entertaining. It's not exactly super heartfelt or anything, but there are like heartfelt moments. Really excited to see what he'll do here. I'm hoping for the best. Having said that, though, I am super cautious. Like I said, there are some things I don't necessarily like. You know, I think there's a lot of characters. I don't like seeing cameos this early on in the DCU, because I was hoping it was just going to be a Superman only film. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. This isn't at the very beginning of Superman. This isn't an origin story where he's well established as a superhero. That's what James Gunn said at the very least. Superman teaser trailer is done. I like it. I think it's going to look good. People are already complaining on Twitter. I might do that. I might go through those like Twitter complaints maybe right after this. Maybe I'll just record another video, because I've seen a lot of TikTok Zack Snyder fans and Twitter Zack Snyder fans. They're just going at it. Anything that might be even slightly considered like a diss, they're throwing it at him. You know, it's kind of stupid. Like, they were saying the colors are too bright. Like the blue and reds and yellows are popping in a Superman movie. Okay. Like, sorry, they want to have bright colors for their bright alien superhero, you know, like. But that's gonna do it for me. James Gunn, you're gonna have my $20 when it hits IMAX. Just straight up, I don't care. Even if people say it's good or it's bad, you got my money. So, but that's gonna do it for me. If you like what you saw, hit like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And if not, hey, you know, I hope you have a good rest of your life, because you're probably never gonna see me again. Bye. Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't have time to record an outro, but hey, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. You know, it helps me out a ton. Sorry, I gotta go save some people. See you.